Hey there, Mr. Reddit here. Welcome back to another episode of r/Entitled Parent Stories. Our first story we'll be reading today. Entitled Mom hits my car and blames me. After that, Entitled Mom tries to skip the line, her son gets hurt, and she blames me. After that, Entitled Mom tries to snatch my orange juice even though there's clearly enough in stock. If you cannot stand Karen, please let everyone know by smashing that like button. And if you're new, please subscribe and turn on notifications for new stories from Reddit every single day.
And if you want Karen to do a voiceover for you, visit Mr. Reddit on Fiverr. Link pinned in the comments below.
Entitled Mom hits my car and blames me. I apologize, but I am writing this on mobile. Yada 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 yada, sorry for mistakes. So, a little background. I have a really nice gray Land Cruiser that looks like a monster truck, and it costs a lot of money. Not because of the car itself, but mostly the parts inside of it. I live in a pretty good neighborhood, but it happens to be right next to the most busy road in my area. Also, I'm not old enough to drink, so I've never drank in my life, unless I was at church. So, let's meet the cast. We've got Entitled Mom. Horrifying excuse for a mom. We've got Entitled Kid. Not really playing a part in this story. We've got Police Officer, aka my guardian angel, and we've got me, most lucky guy in the world. Alright, let's start. So I get a message from my coworker saying that there is a problem at work, and I'd better come over. I work at a computer repair shop, so if there's a problem where they have to call me in, it's usually $100 or $1,000 problem that requires most hands on deck. So I get out of my house, get in my Land Cruiser, and drive off in a bit of a rush. A few minutes pass, and I'm about 3 miles away from work. I stop at a red light in this really busy intersection on the most busy road in the entire country. There are car crashes here almost every other day. One time, it happened twice in one day. So it is no surprise that I got into one at this intersection. So the light turned green, and I was in a rush, so I was well in front of the cars beside me. Then, just as I'm about to clear the intersection, a big red minivan T-bones me, and we both go sliding in different directions. Me, not as much, because my car is much heavier than hers. I almost passed out because of shock, and looked out my window to see who hit me. I get out of my car, and it is in pretty bad shape. There's a huge dent right next to the passenger side door, and the glass is broken on the mirror. Luckily, nothing else that is visible. Enter Entitled Mom and Entitled Kid. Entitled Mom.
What were you doing? Trying to drive ahead like that on a red light? You could have hurt me or my baby in that crash, and we have a very important birthday to go to.
Me. I'm sorry, but it was a green light for me, not for you, and I had the right of way. Entitled Mom, in a quiet, accusatory tone.
No, you didn't have the right of way. We had the right of way, not you.
Me. Explain to me how you had the right of way.
I don't have to explain to you, you drunk jerk.
Once again, I'm not old enough to drink and never even have in my life.
Are you going to pay for my car, or what?
Her car, the red minivan, looks almost like the front of it was blown up, then rammed by 100 bulls and a couple wrecking balls. I'm honestly surprised they even survived, because the driver's seat headrest was impaled by a piece of metal. Satan is most likely protecting his spawn from any harm so that she can be the biggest Karen this world has ever seen. No. You are going to pay for it, along with the damage you did to my car. This was the wrong thing to say.
Excuse me, you drunk jerk. You honestly think I'm going to pay for your crappy truck that you and your drinking buddy probably pulled out of a trash pile?
Me. Yes, jerk.
How dare you treat me like that in front of my kid? My darling should never be exposed to your potty mouth. Your mother probably left you because you were the most ugly piece of crap in the whole family of 20 kids, and the orphanage that you currently live in got tired of your BS, so they gave you $100 to go buy this piece of crap lump of metal with wheels.
Me, angry as heck. That's it. I'm calling the cops if someone hasn't already done so. Entitled Kid. Mommy, please stop harassing him. He's done nothing wrong. Entitled Mom.
He's done everything wrong.
About 10 minutes later of yelling, 3 cop cars pull up and an ambulance. Police officer. Excuse me, sir. What happened here? Me. Well, I was go entitled mom.
It was horrible, officer. This man was drunk
Once again, I'm not old enough.
and ran a red light, which was clearly visible, and almost hurt me and my baby.
Me. That's not true, officer. This woman is clearly lying to you. You can see that I'm sober, and there were a ton of witnesses to the accident and what ensued, and they can tell you that she is in the wrong. Police officer. Well, I might as well check both of you and the security cameras. There were security cameras at the intersection that recorded everything. Entitled mom, clearly seeing that she was going to get caught.
Oh, there's no need for doing that. We will just exchange info and
Police officer. I'm sorry, ma'am, but it is required that I know what happened and which of you was in the wrong. So we will be watching the cam footage together. The police officer found the accident and saw that entitled mom was clearly running a red light and she was speeding by at least 20 miles over the limit. The limit was 50. He then checks us both with a breathalyzer and I am completely sober. But she, sorry, couldn't remember the exact number, was the equivalent of, quoting the police officer, having both eyes closed and driving with your feet drunk. They even found a bottle of it in the passenger side seat half empty. However, the best part is still yet to come. Turns out she was never going to a birthday party. She was actually leaving the city. Oh, why you ask? Because turns out she had 3 pouches of drugs, probably maybe $2,000 worth in her trunk. Does it end there? No, 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 no. She was packing heat, and quite a bit from my state. That's right. The police found weapons in her car. Combine all of that, and you get $5,600 in repairs to my car and a couple thousand more or reprimands, 10.5 years in prison, 3 years on probation, and plenty of parenting classes. Not to mention the several $100 speeding ticket she received before they found the things she had in her car. Entitled kid was sent to his father, who actually divorced his mother because of this kind of stuff. Personally, I wouldn't even call that waste of human potential a mother. Sorry that this story's a little long. I wanted to list every detail possible. My car is now fully repaired, and me and the police officer are good friends now and talk about this incident often. Thank you for reading. Edit. Alright, just because I forgot to say this in original post. Thank God none of the expensive parts in my car were damaged. The engine was fine, the suspension was perfect, and the springs were intact. Another edit. Also, the reason the kid was with the mom, even after the divorce, is because she was illegally taking him with her. I don't know what she got for that, but I know it's bad. Also, if you guys think this story is fake, you'd be wrong. I experienced this firsthand, and it was horrifying. The only reason you guys say it's fake is because you don't know how many things that seem fake actually happen. Everything happens eventually. Next we've got, entitled mom tries to skip the line, her son gets hurt, and she blames me. The characters in this story. We've got entitled mom, entitled brat, me, nice girl, and nice mom. So, to set the scene, I work at a large clothing retail store that is 2 stories. The top floor, ladies wear. The bottom floor, kids wear, men's and home. It was a very busy Saturday, and we were very understaffed, which left me being the only person on the bottom floor. We have just brought in new Halloween apparel in the kids section, which had been placed on the right-hand side of the tills. So the tills are set up so that there are 2 on a long bench, about 2 meters apart from each other, so it is pretty clear if there is a line at one of the tills. As I am the only person working on the bottom floor, there's only one till open, and I am on the left side till. This is relevant. As I am serving a lady with a large number of clothes, a line starts to form, and I noticed a woman and her 4 boys checking out the Halloween section. The boys are fighting over who can dress up as a pumpkin, and the mother keeps screaming at them to
shut up
and
hurry up.
I was already feeling the Karen vibes radiating from her, so was mentally preparing for her to have some sort of problem. By the time I had finished serving, the line had grown very long with only me being on the tills. The next in line was nice girl and nice mom, who smiled at me, and just as they went to put their items down, the Karen erupts.
Excuse me? Are you really going to just ignore me? I've been waiting for 10 minutes.
First of all, she had been in the Halloween section, not in line, and she had not been there for 10 minutes. Me. Sorry, I didn't see you in line for this till. Entitled Mom.
Excuse me? Is this not a till?
Pointing to the right side till, the one that, I'm not using. Me. Sorry, that till is not open, as I cannot use both tills at the same time. Shouldn't have to explain that to a grown Karen, but Entitled Mom.
Does that matter? I've clearly been waiting here longer than these people. It's so rude of you to just ignore me.
Me. Sorry, I thought you were looking at the Halloween clothes, not in line.
That doesn't matter. I've been standing by the tills.
The nice girl and nice mom who were in front luckily gave me a sympathetic smile and let the Karen and her spawns cut in front just so I could get them out of the way. It takes the store I work in quite a while to serve people, as almost everything is security tagged, so we have to take them off each item and then take off the coat hangers. As I am detagging the Karen's items, one of her spawns is interested in the magnet detagger. For those who haven't taken any of these certain types of security tags, they look like little UFOs, with one side having a very sharp needle that goes through the clothes and into the other side of the tag. So to remove them, we press the tag on this magnet that separates the pin from the tag. If you've worked with these, you'd know how much trouble they are and how often the pin slips and goes into your finger. Very painful. The little spawn points at it and asks me if he can untag one. I have to say no, as it's slightly dangerous and it would be my fault if the spawn pricked himself. Me. No, sorry, I can't let you do that. I will get in trouble. Entitled Brad.
Mummy, I want to do one.
Entitled Mom.
You've already held us up enough. Just let him do one. You won't get in trouble. You're the only one here.
Me. I'm sorry, but the security tags have a pin in them that pops out when you detag them, and he could hurt his finger. So, it's a safety thing. Entitled Brad.
Only dumb people would prick themselves.
The entitled mom rolls her eyes at me, and I continue detagging. Just as I only have a few more items to go, Entitled Brad snatches one of the items and begins slamming the security tag onto the magnet like a little lunatic. I ask him to stop touching it, and then try to grab his hand, not hard, so he doesn't hurt himself. Of course, this sets Karen off.
Don't you dare touch my son. Just let him do one.
Just as she finishes screeching at me, her spawn begins wailing. And what do I see? His grubby little hand bleeding with the pin stuck in it. The Karen starts going ballistic at the little brat, and then starts screaming at me that it's my fault that this happened, all while leaving her crap at the tills and dragging out her little spawns while yelling. No, the line didn't clap. Sorry for the mistakes, was in a rush writing it. Will answer any questions as there might be a lack of info. Next we've got Entitled Mom tries to snatch my orange juice even though there's clearly enough in stock. Hey everyone, time for me to post some Entitled Parents story that happened recently. Blah blah blah, I'm on mobile. I live in a small town, which despite its rather below average size and population is pretty well known around the area and has a decent amount of stores in it. I recently got my first job as a private tutor for English and got paid for the first time last Thursday, a whopping 20 euros, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it's my first self-earned money. A few days later, I decided I'd use my money for some celebratory grocery shopping, since our fridge was looking a little empty, and I could smuggle some chocolate along the way. Near where I live, there are two big stores right next to each other. We'll call them Good Store and Cheap Store, as the Good Store was essentially bigger and had more items, and Cheap Store generally cheaper. Knowing to spend my money well, I go to Cheap Store and head through the aisles. I grab the stuff I needed. Everything fine so far aside from a kid screaming about not being allowed to have a certain type of cereal. Then I head to the drink aisle, browsing it for my favorite orange juice. I look down the entire shelf of orange juice and see it. 100% orange juice, right next to its inferior cousin, 50% orange juice. It was the last bottle. The cast. We've got me. We've got Entitled Kid. entitled Mom and Worker. I bend down to grab the bottle, but as I'm picking it up, I inspect it quickly to check if it's actually 100%, as the bottles literally look the same. But then it happens. A kid sprints at me full force while I'm inspecting the bottle, jumps up, and tries to snatch it from me. I get spooked and try to shake him off. He's hanging from my arm with one hand while trying to pull the bottle with the other. Once I noticed it was a kid, about 4 or 5, I try to gently place him on the floor, then rip the bottle out of his grasp. I succeed. Me. Buddy, you can't just nab something from someone, especially a grown-up. Entitled Kid. But I want it. Me. Well, I would have given it to you if you would have asked nicely. Maybe you'll learn something from this. Needless to say, I wasn't lying. I would have been fine with any other orange juice. This one was just my favorite. Also, needless to say, I wasn't mad or aggressive in any way. Just another failed attempt at parenting. He doesn't know better, I thought to myself as he stomped off. I carry on my shopping adventure with the bottle in my bag, poking out the top. As I stood in front of an aisle, I hear someone yell from a distance.
Excuse me, kiddo.
I turn around and see a Karen. Me. Huh? Entitled Mom.
How dare you steal from a child?
I did what now?
Don't you try to deny it, you lying piece of crap. My son came to me and said you stole his orange juice from him. He's a good boy.
Ma'am, your son is the liar here. He was the one trying to steal from me.
What the heck? You're so pathetic. First you shove my kid, steal his juice, and now you're calling my little angel a liar? Oh, I will have you thrown out of this store for a lifetime.
Me. Listen, I did nothing wrong. Just get some other orange juice. There's plenty on the shelves. Or buy one from Good Store. They have this one in stock, I reckon. Entitled Mom.
You jerk! My child doesn't want a different orange juice, and I won't walk all the way over to Good Store for one dang item.
Note that the stores aren't even 30 seconds apart from each other. Me. Whatever. If you'll excuse me, I turn around to head to a different aisle. Suddenly, I hear quick steps coming towards me and feel a pull on my bag. That woman was actually trying to snatch the orange juice from my bag. I turn around while reaching for her hand, grabbing it and pulling it away. Entitled Mom.
Assault! Help!
Me. BS. A worker comes by. Worker. What seems to be the problem? Entitled Mom furiously makes up how I randomly attacked her without any reason and demands I pay her 50 euros and be banned from the store. Me, on the other hand, calmly explained the real story, how the kid first tried to steal from me, then her. Entitled Mom.
What a liar!
She then shoves me backwards, making me topple into the shelves behind me, while she is still screaming at me. The worker gets very upset, pulls her back, and points out a security camera. Worker. You listen here. It seems like you're the assailant, and we definitely have enough video evidence to prove the boy's story. You will either get out of our store, or I will call the authorities. Karen leaves the store with her kid, probably because she knows this is a losing battle for her. The worker helps me up and gives me a coupon for immediate usage. He also promised to always keep that specific orange juice in stock from now on. Firstly, so I won't have to deal with another Karen, and secondly, because it's some darn good orange juice. Next we've got, we don't work here anymore. I used to work for a special repair company. We would have customers bring us boards to rebuild all the time. Public interest for the items we fixed went down, mainly because they were not needed and very expensive. The company went under overnight. All the tools and parts were left in the building. Almost a year later, a buddy of mine says he bought the contents of a building site unseen and asked me to take a look because he recognized some of the equipment being similar to what I have in my home shop. I end up riding with him, no clue where we are going, and end up at my old workplace. We are there for about an hour looking through everything, checking what current market values are, and just looking at what all was there. It's been almost a year. We are about to call it a day when someone knocks at the door. Oops, I forgot, the open sign is hardwired into the lights. My buddy goes to the door, and I recognize the guy. He was a regular, has about 20 high-end wine coolers in his basement, and would bring us crates full of boards to repair, so he had spares to swap out if one ever failed, and they fail frequently. We've got the old customer, we've got Buddy, and we've got me. Old customer. Thank God you're back in business. I have 2 coolers down and no spares. I lost a lot of my collection. Buddy. What? Me. He's a wine collector. He has massive wine coolers in his basement. The boards burn up constantly. He was a frequent customer. Old customer. Great. It's the same tech. The other place I've been going to has an idiot for a tech. Buddy. Sorry, dude. This place has been closed for a while. We don't work here. I just bought the contents. Old customer. What do you mean? He works here. I know he does. I've come here for years. The price was about $100 a board. I'm willing to pay more if parts are more expensive. Buddy. Dude, I have no clue what you're talking about. We are not a business. I just bought a bunch of random stuff at auction. I can hear wars going on. I can see in the guy's truck there are 2 crates of boards, probably 15 altogether. I pull my buddy aside. Me. We have the parts to rebuild what's in his truck. Each one will take me about 5 minutes. It's up to you, but it could be some quick cash if you got the time. Buddy. Okay. I go out and tell the guy I'll do it for the standard price this time, but the business is closed. If he needs any fixed in the future, I can do it out of my house, but the price may change. The guy got super excited, agreed, left the boards, his number, and went to eat until we called him back. About an hour and a half go by. I have all the boards done. It was 16 of them. I call the guy, he shows up. Old customer. How did it all go? Good? Me. Yup, they all test properly on the bench. As always, you will want to test as many as you can in the machine ASAP. I put my contact info in one of the crates. Total comes to $1,600. No. That price won't work. You guys went out of your way to do this, and you got it done in the same day. That's never happened before. He hands my buddy a bank bag. My buddy rifles through the stack of bills inside while I load the truck. I know the guy is a big tipper. He once paid me $200 just to stay an extra half hour to pick up his stuff. Buddy, there's $2,600 in here. I'm the only person that bid on this crap. I only paid $1,200. You already made back my money and then some. Needless to say, my shop got a bit of an upgrade that day, and my wallet got a tad bit heavier too. And shoutouts to our Re-Generals of the day. Super General Overlord Maddie Spinks. Look at all those Rees! Brick Sonic, Subaki of Melancholy, Kian, Kate's Place, and your mom. Become tomorrow's Re-Generals by leaving as many Rees as you can in the comments below.